Do you wish that all things wealth and finance were much easier to understand and not presented by a bunch of beige cardigan-wearing geeks? Welcome to the Clever Investor Podcast, where we're dishing up the easiest to understand finance program served in bite-sized chunks, so your brain will thank you as your knowledge grows. Hosted by the brilliant Owen Taylor, a multiple award-winning expert with a glorious knack for explaining the complex world of wealth in the simplest of ways.
Hello, clever investors, and welcome to another show. Today, we're going to talk about the magic of compounding. Now, one of the most important concepts, one of the most important lessons you're ever going to learn on your pathway of becoming a clever investor is the effect of compounding on our investments. So compounding growth is effectively the process whereas the value of an asset increases over time. It can be simply explained as the effect of growth on growth. Now, the long-term process of creating wealth essentially starts to gather speed over time because your assets grow and the actual dollar return is in future periods will also grow. So in other words, simplifying this, the wealth creation is a function of the size of your asset base and time. Now, as time goes by, the value of your assets increase, and so does the amount by which your portfolio will then grow as well. This is what we call the magic of compounding. There's an analogy that I was taught years ago that quite simply explains the magic of compounding. So I want you to imagine for a moment that you meet a genie, and the genie gives you two choices. You're given the choice of $1 million right now, or a magical 1 cent piece that's going to double in value every day for 30 days. Now, what one are you going to pick? The choice for many is going to be, I'm going to take the $1 million up front. But let's have a look at this magic 1 cent piece and see how it actually grows over the 30-day periods. So on day one, your 1 cent piece is worth 1 cent. But on day two, it's now worth 2 cents. Day three, it's now worth 4 cents. And at this point, you're thinking, big deal. But let's fast forward to day 10. It's now worth $5.12, which is still no biggie, but wait. By day 15, it's now worth $163.84 because it's doubling every day. Day 16, it's now $327.68. Day 20, it's now $5,242.88. By day 25, it's now at $167,772.16. This is fantastic. By day 28, congratulations. You've now hit the $1 million mark. $1,342,177.28 to be exact. On day 30, you now have $5,368,709.12. And if you're lucky enough to have met the genie on a 31-day month, you've now got $10,773,418.24. Although this is an extreme example, and I've got to burst the bubble for everybody, there's no such thing as genies, but compounding does actually exist. Now, the rate of growth in each period for that example with the genie is 50% each time, which doesn't mean much in dollar terms in those very early days. As I said to you, at day 5, it's only 16 cents. And at day 10, it was $5.12. However, between days 25 and 26, the percentage return is still 50%, but the net asset increase is now $167,772.32. So how does this happen? Well, it's simple when we look back at it. When you have a larger asset base, the same annual return will yield greater returns. How can this play out with our properties? Let's assume that you purchase a property today for $400,000 and it grows at 5% per annum for the next 10 years. Now, little sidetrack here, reality. No property market grows exactly the same each year. You're going to have an ebb and flow. It might be 3% growth one year and it might be 6.2% the next year, and then it might go back down to 5 after that. But the concept still remains the same. Now, the results in that situation are your property on year 1 is worth $400,000. By year 5, your dollar gain is $23,153, but your property value has gone up to $486,203. Year 6, your dollar gain is again around about $24,000, but your property is now worth over $500,000. You've got $510,000 there. Fast forward to year 10, your property is now valued at $620,000, and the dollar gain that you've had from the previous year is just under $30,000, $29,549. Again, as time goes by, the dollar gains increase while the actual return is consistent. So back to year 5 there, the property grew by 5% and the gain was only about $23,000. In year 10, the property's grown by another 5%, and the dollar gain on paper doesn't look that high, only gained by about $29,000. But it's the compounding effect over the years that really matters. So to summarize compounding, wealth creation is a function of the size of your asset base and given time. And as I've taught people for many years, your job as a clever investor is to build your asset base as large as you can with what you can always comfortably afford to hold long term. I hope that shed a little bit of light on the magic of compounding, and I'll see you guys again on another edition of the Clever Investor Podcast.
You have been listening to the Clever Investor Podcast, proudly sponsored this week by Blue Wealth Property. Are you ready to start a new investment journey? Get in touch with the industry leaders, Blue Wealth Property. Blue Wealth have a proven track record in using research to identify growth markets, and Blue Wealth have supported thousands of Australians to buy the right property in the right market at the right time. Go to bluewealth.com.au.